ever feel like the future of AI is this huge, uh, mysterious thing,
Yeah.
just kind of hurtling towards us?
Yeah, definitely.
Today we're diving deep into a report that claims it's even closer than most people think.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the potential to like fundamentally change the world, as we know it.
Right from the get-go, the report, it's called Situational Awareness.
Okay.
That title immediately grabbed my attention,
Yeah.
The author argues that only like a select few really truly understand the speed and the magnitude of what's coming.
Okay.
He's talking about artificial general intelligence, or AGI,
Yeah.
potentially arriving by 2027.
2027. That's incredibly soon.
Yeah.
What makes this report, I don't know, different from all the other, AI is about to change everything.
Yeah.
Predictions.
Yeah, we've all heard those.
Right.
This report, the author, Leopold Aschenbrenner,
Yeah.
he backs up his claims by analyzing AI progress in a really, really interesting way, I think.
Okay.
He uses what he calls orders of magnitude,
Okay.
ooms. Each represents basically a 10-fold leap in AI capabilities. Think of it like stages in a child's development.
Okay, I'm picturing those aha moments when a kid suddenly grasps something new. How do apply to AI?
So Aschenbrenner argues that the jump from GPT-2 to GPT-3, for example, that was a significant
Okay.
It's like going from a child who can string together a few words to one who can, hold a basic conversation.
Got it.
GPT-4 then represents another leap forward.
So where do we go from here? What's driving these advancements, and how quickly can we expect to see more of these OM jumps?
Right. So Aschenbrenner points to three key drivers.
Okay.
The first one is compute, which basically means more and better computing power. It's like giving AI a bigger brain to work with.
Yeah.
The second driver is algorithmic efficiency.
Okay.
Imagine finding like clever shortcuts that allow AI to do more with the same amount of computing power.
So it's not just about brute force, but also about working, smarter, not harder, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What's the third driver?
The third driver is what Aschenbrenner calls unhobbling.
Unhobbling.
He argues that AI might already possess like hidden capabilities, and we're only now starting to unlock them. Think of it like giving a race car driver permission to finally put their foot on the gas pedal.
That's a powerful analogy. What kind of unhobbling are we talking about here?
One example is giving AI access to the internet and also coding tools.
Okay.
And this has led to like a dramatic increase in their problem-solving abilities. You're seeing some AI systems going from barely being able to do, basic math to tackling complex coding challenges in a remarkably short amount of time.
It almost sounds too good to be true. But if AI is advancing this rapidly, isn't there a concern that we'll run out of data to train these models?
Right.
Like I've heard people talk about hitting a data wall.
Yeah, you're right. That's a crucial question. And it's one that Aschenbrenner, he tackles this head on.
Yeah.
He suggests that while the data wall is a real concern,
Right.
it might not be an insurmountable obstacle.
Okay.
He hints at exciting breakthroughs in areas like reinforcement learning and also synthetic data, which could fundamentally change how AI learns and evolves.
So we're not just talking about feeding AI more data, but about teaching it to learn like humans do.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. This is where things start to feel truly revolutionary.
You're right to like really hone in on that point about AI learning like humans do. It's one of the most fascinating and potentially transformative aspects of this whole thing, I think.
Absolutely.
Last we left off, you mentioned reinforcement learning and synthetic data as possible ways past the data wall.
Right.
What exactly are those, and what makes them so groundbreaking? So imagine instead of just giving an AI like a massive textbook to memorize, we create a virtual world where it can experiment, make mistakes, learn from its experiences, just like we do.
Yeah.
That's the essence of reinforcement learning.
So it's less about force-feeding information and more about like creating the right conditions for learning.
Exactly. And that's where the synthetic data comes in.
Okay.
Think of it as creating custom-designed training environments for AI.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of relying solely on real-world data,
Right.
which can be messy and limited, right?
Yeah.
We can generate vast amounts of artificial data,
Okay.
but it's tailored to teach AI like specific skills.
Yeah.
It's like giving a chef an endless pantry of ingredients to experiment with.
That sounds incredibly powerful. But with this kind of accelerated learning,
Yeah.
are we talking about like AI quickly surpassing human capabilities?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the intelligence explosion Aschenbrenner refers to?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
He uses that term to describe a scenario where AI becomes so advanced
Okay.
that it can essentially design and improve upon itself,
Mm-hmm.
leading to this like runaway effect
Okay.
where its intelligence grows exponentially.
That's a dizzying thought.
Yeah.
AI capable of recursive self-improvement.
Hmm.
As exciting as that sounds, it also feels like we're venturing into like unknown territory here.
For sure.
With potentially enormous risks.
Yeah,
Does Aschenbrenner address these challenges?
he does.
Okay.
And he doesn't sugarcoat them. In fact, he dedicates like a significant portion of the report to outlining these potential pitfalls.
Okay.
One of the first challenges he highlights is the sheer scale of resources
Okay.
required to achieve this level of AI.
Right.
He calls it the trillion-dollar cluster.
$1 trillion as in with a T.
That's right.
What would that kind of investment even look like?
So Aschenbrenner suggests that building and maintaining the computational infrastructure needed for like super intelligent AI
Right.
could cost trillions of dollars.
Wow.
We're not just talking about like computer labs here.
Yeah,
We're
right.
talking about massive server farms requiring energy on par with like small countries,
Right.
potentially even like necessitating entirely new energy infrastructure.
That's a scale of investment that's hard to even fathom. But let's say hypothetically, we manage to like overcome that hurdle.
Okay.
Are there other risks beyond just the economic ones?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Aschenbrenner, he's particularly concerned about security.
Okay.
He argues that the current state of security at most AI labs is woefully inadequate
Okay.
for safeguarding technology this powerful.
Mhm.
He even goes so far as to compare it to, like, leaving the blueprints for the Manhattan Project out in the open.
That's a chilling analogy. What kind of security risks are we talking about specifically?
Well, he highlights the potential for espionage and also theft, particularly from nation states with advanced technological capability.
Right.
Imagine if the secrets to building super intelligent AI
Yeah.
fell into the wrong hands, right?
Yeah.
It's a scenario with like potentially dire consequences
Oh, absolutely.
for global security.
Yeah. So not only is there this like race to develop this technology, but also a race to secure it, to control it.
Right?
It feels like we're talking about the ultimate like high stakes game of chess here.
Yeah.
With the future of humanity at stake.
It's true. That's a good way to put it.
Wow.
And as if the resource requirements and the security risks weren't daunting enough,
Yeah.
Aschenbrenner argues that there's an even bigger challenge looming.
Right.
The alignment problem.
It's the alignment problem. That sounds ominous. What does it refer to?
It boils down to this. How do we ensure that super intelligent AI, with its potentially vast capabilities, right, remains aligned with human values and goals?
Yeah.
How do we prevent it from,
Going rogue.
going rogue, or worse, acting against our interests?
That's the question that keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about like malfunctioning robots here.
Yeah.
We're talking about something with potentially superhuman intelligence, making decisions that could impact like the entire world.
Right. But
how do we even begin to address that?
that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And Aschenbrenner suggests it's one of the most pressing and complex challenges facing, AI researchers today. We need to find ways to embed human values into AI systems.
Okay.
Not just teach them what to do, but like why to do it.
It's one thing to talk about, AI solving like complex problems.
Right.
But ensuring it does so like ethically,
Right.
with human values in mind, that's a whole other level.
Yeah.
Where does Aschenbrenner even begin to like unpack solutions for something like that?
Well, he actually starts by addressing a group he calls the doomers.
Okay.
These are the folks who believe that AGI like inevitably leads to dystopia,
Right.
and that the only solution is to like halt AI research altogether.
Yeah, I can see where they're coming from,
Yeah.
especially given, the risks we just discussed. But
Yeah.
but is Aschenbrenner saying their concerns are completely unfounded?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
He acknowledges the potential for, catastrophic outcomes, but he argues that trying to stop progress entirely is unrealistic
Mm-hmm.
and likely counterproductive.
Yeah.
It's like trying to stop a wave from crashing.
Right.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're better off figuring out how to like write it.
So if halting AI research isn't the answer,
Right.
what does Aschenbrenner propose we do?
He advocates for an approach he calls AGI realism.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging both the immense potential
Mm-hmm.
and the very real risks of AGI, and approaching its development with a focus on safety, ethics, and control.
That sounds like a delicate balancing act.
It is.
How do we ensure those priorities don't get like lost in the race
Right.
to develop,
To be the first.
ever more powerful AI?
He stresses the importance of collaboration,
Uh,
both within the AI research community
Hmm.
and on a global scale.
Yeah.
He argues that sharing knowledge,
Okay.
establishing common ethical guidelines,
Mm-hmm.
and working together to address, the alignment problem.
Right.
These are crucial for mitigating risks and maximizing the potential benefits of AGI.
So instead of competing to build the most powerful AI,
Yeah.
the focus should be on like collectively building the safest
Right.
and most beneficial AI possible.
Exactly.
It almost sounds like utopian, but could it actually work?
Well, it's certainly not without its challenges.
Yeah.
Aschenbrenner acknowledges the potential for, competition and mistrust and even conflict as nations and corporations, vie for AI dominance.
Mhm.
But he also suggests that AGI could, in a way, like force our hand,
Okay.
pushing us toward greater international cooperation out
And-
of sheer necessity.
That's an interesting thought. The very
Yeah.
technology that could divide us might
Mm.
also be the one that compels us to work together.
Yeah.
He's painting a picture of a future where the stakes are incredibly high,
For sure.
but so are the potential rewards.
Yeah, he is, and he doesn't shy away from the possibility that we might not get it right.
Right.
That our efforts to like control and align AGI might fail,
Yeah.
leading to like unintended consequences.
Mhm.
But he also suggests that failing to even try to
Right.
like bury our heads in the sand and hope for the best is a recipe for disaster.
So we're at a crossroads here,
Yeah.
facing a technology that has the potential to like reshape our world
Mm-hmm.
in profound and unpredictable ways.
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
It's a bit daunting, to say the least.
It is.
What's your biggest takeaway from all of this? What stuck with you the most?
One line from the report has really stayed with me.
Okay.
Right now, there's perhaps a few hundred people in the world who realize what's about to hit us, who understand just how crazy things are about to get. The few folks behind the scenes who are desperately trying to keep things from falling apart are you and your buddies and their buddies. That's it. That's all there is.
Wow, that's both a sobering and a strangely motivating thought.
Yeah.
It makes you realize that we're not just like passive observers in all of this.
Right.
The choices we make today,
Mm-hmm.
individually and collectively,
Yeah.
could have a ripple effect on the future of AI
Right.
and by extension the future of humanity.
Exactly. Aschenbrenner reminds us that the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's
Right.
something we create
Mm-hmm.
through our actions, our decisions.
Right.
And in this case, the technologies we develop.
It's a lot to process, but incredibly important to engage with.
Absolutely.
So to everyone listening, I encourage you to keep learning, keep asking questions,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to delve deeper into the world of AI,
Mm-hmm.
its potential and its implications.
Right.
As we've learned today, the future of AI isn't just about like lines of code and complex algorithms. It's about human choices, ethics, and the kind of world we want to create.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been an eye-opening journey.
It has.
Until next time, keep exploring.